Two of these bands looped together. $60 is by far the most valuable piece of training equipment I've ever used with my athletes for developing their speed. And here are my 3 favorite exercises I use with this double band setup. General overview, bands provide a very unique resistance because they get tighter the farther you stretch them, which you can't really get otherwise. Second, they're super just portable, versatile, and scalable because you can buy a lot for not that much money. You just put them in the trunk of your car. You can use them in the sunshine, in the rain, whatever it is. And you can just apply it to exercises that are harder to traditionally resist or provide some sort of external stimulus to. Although I will be diving into a top 3, there are some honorable mentions. Just like kids, we all have favorites even though you can't say you do. But first is banded sprints. Again, super high quality resistance without being tied down to heavy equipment. You can bring these bands anywhere, things like that. And last, a banded heavy bound. Again, something a little bit harder to traditionally resist, work on super aggressive shin angles, and get some smooth resistance that has the give as the athlete kind of bounds and creates some horizontal force, but is super smooth. First, the absolute classic, the banded A run. And the simplicity of this drill, because the athlete is staying in place or slowly moving forwards like in the second video, they can focus on more internal cues or things like mechanics, but also have a super high intensity, super high step frequency, and a super high output. And also what I like is the self-organization piece. Because you have to create some energy to counteract the band pulling you back, you have to step and strike in a very narrow circle, a small radius right underneath your hips to kind of maintain your balance. Second, banded one steps. And this capitalizes on the band getting tighter the farther it stretches, so you can really teach athletes to push and finish on a first step. But also, it is as creative as you want it to be, to where it can be a linear one step or what I call a crossover one step. So in this third video, I have a big group of athletes, the ones that did track and field. I said ones that don't do a real sport. You guys are doing the linear one step. And all of my other athletes that play real sports, field sports like baseball, lacrosse, whatever it is, with the multi-directional component, you guys are doing your crossover one step. So it's the same resistance, but you're applying it for what the athlete in front of you needs. And last, this is my favorite one, even though I can't pick favorites, Wank, the heavy low march. Again, to get so much resistance to where the athlete can really drop their shin, but also it is not so hard to overcome to where they can actually execute the drill. Because basically the athlete behind them holding them back gets to scale up or down however much resistance to keep them in that nice angle. And what I like about this first video is you can see him kind of struggling to find the angle, the flow in the first 5 yards, but when it clicks for him in the second 5 yards, it looks really, really nice. So the bands give a lot of feedback because the band is going to win if you're not doing the drill well. In summary, to wrap this up, bands provide a super smooth, unique resistance in the horizontal vector, which can be hard to get otherwise, while still letting athletes do fast, explosive, athletic things. So being creative in the application to change, is it a light resisted band exercise? Is it a heavy? Is it a medium? Whatever it may be. Is it going to be straight up just go as fast as possible? Or, hey, I want you to think about your technique on this. Really, it just, for the bang for buck, the value, what you pay for what you get, bands are so versatile and they can be applied in a bunch of different ways to develop all of the things that support speed and make athletes fast on top of developing speed itself. So get yourself some double bands and happy training.